Hey all, it's John Benson here again. I am here again with you guys to talk about Persuade and Profit on day, we're already on day 4. It's kind of crazy. Day 4 of our 30-day Persuade and Profit live series. And we're going to be talking about the 3 modes of persuasion. There are going to be 3 more days attached to this. I kind of teased you yesterday with how we're talking about like the different ways to persuade, like the different modes that we're going to talk about persuasion, whether it's aggressive, whether it's soft. We're actually going to do that after this because I need to cover the modes of persuasion first. So that's what we're going to do now, and I'm going to wait for people to come on because I'm early, and you guys can come on and say hi and tell me hello, and then we're going to get started in about a minute. So this is not going to be a long delay. Awesome. Hey, hello, Mogan. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I'm going to show you. Hi, man. And I'm going to type this out real quick here. All right, cool, awesome. So I'm going to introduce myself here. I'm John Benson. I'm known as the $1 billion copy coach because people have made lots of money from my coaching, over $1 billion. So that's who I am, in case you're wondering, in case you're just tuning in and you are unaware. So we're going to wait for people to pile in here. Usually we get lots of people coming in after the first couple of minutes. So looking forward to having you guys in. And if we're not, well, that's okay. We'll talk to a room of 3. I don't care. So cool. Welcome here. I'm glad you didn't miss it. Daylight savings time. You must be in Europe. I think that's happening in Europe right now. Hello, Alexandros. Hey, man. How's it going? Good to see you guys. Everyone say hello. Remember the commenting rule that if you provide really good commentary, make really good comments, you stand a chance to win. Next Thursday, we're going to give away a cool little thing to the first of 4 people. There's going to be 4 total people that win this. And the first person will be awarded on next Thursday. And that's going to be an hour and a half call with me in a group session live. So that is worth $2,500. That's to the top commenter, the person that makes the savviest, coolest comments. Spread this thing around, share this with your friends, do everything you can to help this thing go viral. We would so much appreciate it. If you come on, just say hello so we can get started. All right, cool. So today's topic is very important. It's really critical to understanding how persuasion works. And what I mean by how persuasion works is persuasion works on a multitude of levels. Don't get me wrong, but it's so important to understand the 3 modes, the 3 primary modes. Now, there are 12 really strong modes of persuasion, but there are 3 that I like the most. And today we're going to be talking about this one. Day 1 of 3 is going to be about visual mode persuasion and why people can see things and prefer to see things much more readily than they prefer to hear things. So this is obviously the reason why before and after pictures work for, say, weight loss ads. It's an extremely strong persuasive mechanism. Before and after is a visual mode, but it doesn't have to just be that. I'm going to give you some examples today of visual mode persuasion that has anything to do with pictures. Now I can show you pictures. That's easy. I'm talking about how you use your words. So you can persuade in visual mode without doing anything other than using words. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. This is hopefully will be a little bit shorter than all of our stuff that we've done in the past because it's like we kind of got into 30-minute long sessions. Not that I mind, but I want to keep it conducive to you guys. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share. Go into this solo mode here, and hopefully you guys can see this. These are the 3 modes of persuasion. And before I do that, I'm going to kill this. I noticed I did this yesterday, so I'm going to turn off this thing right there. There we go. Cool. I'm learning this software, guys. I literally got the software strictly for this, so bear with me. Okay, the 3 modes of persuasion. Again, visual mode, what we're going to talk about today. Your prospect needs a picture, a visual of both the problems and solutions that you're going to be covering. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Story mode. That's stories that engage and sell by tapping into something more powerful than your words. Excuse the dishwasher. It came on. So sorry about that, guys. And the pacing mode. Future pacing and guiding your prospect toward their goals. Those are the 3 modes: visual mode, story mode, and pacing mode. And we're going to cover visual today, story tomorrow, and pacing on Tuesday. All right, cool. Let's dive into visual mode persuasion. Prospects and people believe what they can see. We are, for the most part, there are definitely exceptions to this rule. There's a lot of people that have some pretty weird beliefs about things that they've never seen before, but we tend to more readily believe the things that we can see. And prospects also have attachments to common visual references. So if I say to you, we use metaphors all the time. It's like, I feel like I'm stuck in a bear trap. Well, you know what a bear trap looks like, even if you've never seen one. You have a visual idea of what a trap looks like that would be big enough to trap bears. And so if I say that, you can readily understand what I'm talking about. So if I'm wanting to persuade someone and I say, look, it seems to me that you're really caught in a predicament that's very difficult to get out of. They're going, yeah, okay, yeah, uh-huh. But if you say to them, it's like you're caught in a bear trap, they're like, oh, so that's visual mode persuasion. You don't have to show them a picture. Their minds will do it for them. And also prospects feel smarter. They feel more connected to you when they can visualize their own problems. They do feel smart when they can picture something. It's just some way that our brains work. When we can imagine something and the teacher goes, can you see what I'm talking about? You're going, uh-huh. You feel on par with the teacher, and that's a major part of rapport. And rapport is a major part of persuasion. So, and let me tell you why we're doing this. Write this down. This is not on a slide. Why are we wanting to be persuasive? Well, yes, of course, we want to sell more. Yes, of course, we want to make a bigger difference. But the underlying motive behind persuasion is one word: desire. You're wanting to create desire in the mind of your prospect, whether that's desire to buy, desire to change, desire to make a difference. There's a load of desires that you want to instill in a prospect if your goal is persuasion. So all of these things that I'm teaching you are all tools to increase desire. And once you do that, persuasion follows. Cool? Follow me? Good deal. Okay, so let's talk about the types of visual mode persuasion. There's low persuasion, which is no visual at all. Okay, and then there's high persuasion, which is visual. So this is really like a binary on and off. But I'm gonna give you some examples of low persuasion. Okay, for example, your emails are not persuading your prospects. Now, if I said that, you might agree with me. Again, it's kind of like, well, it sounds like you're stuck in a really precarious predicament. That's your aha moment. Okay, sure, yeah, I'm following you. But you're not being persuasive, and you're not increasing desire. You're merely affirming something. You're affirming the consequence. That's all you're doing, and that's not a very good tactic. Here's another one. You're packing on fat around your waist. Okay, that has a little bit of visual in it. The packing has a little bit of visual. So if I change that to say, you are gaining fat around your waist, that would even be better for this example, to be honest with you. So you're gaining fat around here. That may be true. And that really doesn't do anything for desire. That just, again, it affirms the consequence. It does what it's affirming what they already know. You're losing money in the stock market. Okay, again, you get the idea. These are the way that a lot of copywriters that are, not too good at what they do are using the language that you see used in a lot of ads or a lot of emails and a lot of persuasion in general. Just do not tap into visual mode persuasion. And here's what's interesting. Of all the three, visual is probably the most powerful. It's also, I think, the easiest to do. When we get into story mode persuasion tomorrow, I'm going to give you the story formula that I use, and I'm going to give you a story. It's not exactly a piece of cake to do. I mean, you have to actually write a story. It's more difficult. This is actually not that difficult. And it does require some degree of writing, but not a lot, as you'll see. So now let's look at some high persuasion. Let's look at visual mode as inside that email problem. We're going to turn off the boring stuff and talk about visual mode, okay? So here's an example of a sentence. Remember the last time you walked into a mall and knew where you wanted to go? And you know that annoying perfume girl that tries to stop you in your tracks? You're walking to the mall and, hey, you want to try our new scent? Do you remember how annoying that was? How annoying that felt? Well, that is how your emails are coming across to busy prospects, like an annoying perfume girl in a mall. They just push you aside. Well, here's how you fix it. Now, can you feel the increase? Just say yes in the comments if you can. Can you feel the increase in desire? That you really want to know, I really want to fix this, because you don't want to be the annoying perfume girl, right? That's a visual. That's all it is. I'm creating a visual mode reference to something that you all know, because you've all walked through the mall and you've probably had that experience. Hey, would you like to try this? No, get out of my way. I need to buy a tennis racket. So it's only when you want someone to do that is where it's remotely pleasant. Well, what if your emails were doing that to people? And by the way, most people's are. They're in perfume girl mode. So here's how you fix this. That's an important thing to do. That, again, that opens a loop, and we'll talk about fixing it in another one of our Facebook Lives. So you got that? Cool? We good? Now that's a visual mode for the email. Let's look at another visual mode, the one for the body fat problem. That fat around your waist isn't just unsightly. It's more than unhealthy too. Now what am I doing here? By the way, that's called presupposition. I'm just going to presuppose that they know it's unsightly, that they know it's unhealthy. It's unsightly, it's unhealthy. And both of those things are technically true. Well, one of them is subjective, one of them is objective. Nonetheless, I'm stating them as fact. And I'm saying it's not just that it's not just that it's unsightly. It's not that it's unhealthy. It's like a python, a snake that is wrapped around your waist and is slowly suffocating the life out of you. So I stopped here when I wrote this because that alone is a visual mode that you can't help but think of a python, a snake, wrapping around your waist. And we don't have too good of opinions on snakes, which is too bad because I think they're cute, cuddly, and awesome. But that's me. But most people hate snakes. So if you think of this fat is like a snake that's around your waist and it's suffocating the life out of you, holy crap, that is some high level persuasion, right? You don't want that thing wrapped around you and you want to get rid of it. So I could say, I'm going to tell you how to tame the snake like a snake charmer. And you see, I'm writing this off the top of my head. Okay. Now, granted, I'm a pro copywriter, but still the point is once you get a visual mode persuasion tactic going, the copy almost writes itself. You don't want to go too cheesy. You can say, look, let's charm the snake. I'm going to show you how to do that. That's clever. That's very clever. If you go too far into this and every reference is to snake charming, you'll bore your audience. But that one visual can now when you guys, if you pinch your waist right now and you think of that as not just fat, but as like, oh my gosh, I'm pinching my waist, by the way. that's just like a python wrapped around my waist. That's pretty damn persuasive. Let's look at one more, the stock problem. Remember, you're losing money in stocks? Okay. You've managed to turn profitable investing formulas. Again, that's presupposition that I'm selling. So let's say I'm selling profitable investing formulas into a cheesy Vegas craps table. You're tossing dice and hoping you don't end up with snake eyes. Well, here's the problem is the table is rigged. So I just keep going with this metaphor. The table's rigged. You're not just gambling, but you're handing over all your life savings to the house. So now normal stock trading is like a Vegas craps table and it's rigged on top of it. So it's not just gambling, it's rigged gambling. So that's a double layer visual persuasion mode. That is pretty techy, right? That's pretty cool. Now, those are just 3. There could give you hundreds, and we can play around with some of this in the questions and comments if you want to. But like last time, I'm going to invite you to 2 things today. Definitely go see the workshop on dynamic blueprints. It covers how to do all of this in email, and it also gives you the machine that does 90% of this for you. Okay. If you don't want to have to remember all this stuff every single time you write an email, then this is what you want to go check out. johnbenson.com/email will take you there. It's free training and it will show you Email Copy Pro and the dynamic blueprint technology that we've created that solves so many of these problems for you. That is something you want to do. And I'm going to tell you something else I've got going on too, in case you're an Email Copy Pro client, in case you're wanting to take your marketing and all of your persuasion, and especially, write this word down, your offer. If you want to multiply your offer, if you want to 3x, 10x your offer, then I've got a cool coaching offer that I'd like to run by you. Granted, it's for 1 in 20,000 people. It's not for everyone. It's certainly not, it's not cheap, and it is certainly high touch. It is me working with you privately on coaching calls for 90 days. So that is a really sweet offer. We just rolled this out. I'm going to give you the URL to go to here in just a second. I'm going to pull my stuff back over and go to that URL after the live broadcast. If you want to, go back over to looking at my pretty face. And here is where you want to go. It's called OfferX. It's called OfferX because we're all about multiplying your offer. That's really what this coaching is about. And in case a lot of people don't know this about me, I actually pretty much retired from copywriting. I rarely do like straightforward copywriting anymore. Work on Email Copy Pro and Copy Pro technology. That's what I'm passionate about. And the other thing I do other than fitness is, which I never gave up, is this. I've coached for 7 years now. I've been an executive coach and a high-level marketing coach to, if you go to the page, you'll see what I'm talking about. Tons of famous people, everyone from Frank Kern to Ryan Dice to a lot of the offers to people you might not have heard of that are making insane amounts of money. And I'm very well worth the price tag that I charge because I have somewhat of a stupid human trick where I can just spot the hook. I can spot the persuasion factors. I can spot where it's missing stuff and go, oh, we need to change this. And rather than charging them $100,000, which I used to charge to write video sales letters, I charge them much less than that per hour but they get this high level result. So go to johnbenson.com/offerx if you're interested. It is a qualification system. There's a literally live person that will call you because we're very particular on who we take. And I only take about 3 to 10 people a quarter. Right now it's 3 because I've already got the quarter filled up. So just FYI, just go there if you're interested in that. Cool. Let's take some questions. And oh, cool. So we got Billy says, great visualization, great visual, a lot. Oh, everybody's like, great visual, great visual, great visual. So here's what's interesting. I wrote all of that 30 minutes ago. I just came up with this 30 minutes ago. Now, I didn't come up with visual mode persuasion 30 minutes ago, but I think I wanted to do this as you would do it. Now, I realize I'm cheating in a sense because I've taught this and I'm a copywriter professionally and all that stuff. So I'm not trying to say you should do this in 30 minutes, but I sat down and just tapped into my creative flow and said, what have I not said before? Because I've not said any of that before. That would be a visual mode representation. And I came up with the whole Python thing. I was like, man, I'm going to use that in a letter. That's pretty freaking cool, you know? And it's such a terrifying kind of feeling too. And I came up with it. I'm a big martial arts guy. I love martial arts. I've been in it since I was 16. And I was watching the fights last night, and one of the guys got in MMA. It's the guy got choked out. He got submitted by a rear naked choke. And the guy had his legs around him like an anaconda. I mean, it's like he's just choking the life out of this guy, twisting him in all sorts of positions. And I was thinking that's what gave me the idea. It's like, that's kind of what it's like. Only I couldn't say that because people wouldn't know what that was, but people know what a python is. A snake that wraps around you and kind of squeezes. So that's pretty cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, hey Adil, what's going on? So Adil is a martial artist extraordinary himself. Yeah, that's true. Did you see the fight last night? I thought I picked Smith to win, so I won. All right, cool. Terry said, I'm here, but this live event wasn't showing up for some reason. So, that's weird. Wasn't showing up. I think it's some of the Be Live stuff that so far the software is really impressive. I'm going to subscribe to it because it allows me to show screens and all that stuff. And we're going to try something today if you guys want to. How many of you guys have cameras? Because I would love to try to bring you on and talk to me face to face and ask me a question. If anyone wants to come on, ask me a question face to face. I know that's kind of bold. Don't worry if your hair isn't perfect. Don't worry if you can be wearing a hat. I don't care. But if you want to come on live and let's have a chat and let's have a dialogue about visual persuasion, we can do that about anything. Alexandra's, by the way, I know there's a delay here, so I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. Do you think we should substitute or test the visual mode with auditory? Yes. Auditory and kinesthetic modes. That's some pretty technical persuasion stuff. Obviously, it deals with NLP. It deals with some Ericksonian stuff as well, and just basic, brain psychology. But we can go into that in another call. But yeah, definitely, because basically what you're saying is one is a feeling mode and one is a hearing mode. So what you sense by hearing and what you sense by feeling the words are very different. So, and there's also different parts of the brain. Like if you go kinesthetic, you tend to look in a different direction. So if you mention words that have more of a physical impact to them, people will look in a certain direction as opposed to another direction. So that's some pretty cool stuff. You can definitely play around with that. That's definitely black belt jiu-jitsu stuff. So yeah. So cool. I'm waiting for the first brave person to come on and go, I'm going to come on a camera. I'm going to get on here. So Oliver, in the meantime, Oliver said, your emails are like a desperate door-to-door salesman that can't sell a product of his life dependent. Yeah. So that's a great one. Yeah. A door-to-door salesman, you could have all kinds of fun with that one too. That opens up a whole lot of stuff here. So Tom, I'm just scrolling through the comments until someone says, I'm coming on, man. This is great. Thanks. I'm working on a VSL where arousing desire visual is going to be key. Awesome, Tom. That is fantastic that you're doing that. So Tom says that. I forgot to show the copy here. See, Francis says, visual mode persuasion. It's time to fix a government that's corrupt. Okay. Okay. Right now that Trump is the master at this. He is the master at this, and people make fun of his intelligence all the time. Granted, he's definitely got some weird issues going on. Okay, when it comes to persuasion, I kind of agree with what's his name. I can't remember the guy's name now. The guy that wrote Dilbert, Scott something or other. It's I can't remember his name, but he wrote a book on the fact that he thinks Trump is one of the most persuasive people that's ever lived. And he knows a lot about persuasion. This guy Scott does. So I didn't buy the book, but I was listening to an interview with him, and it's like some of the stuff he was saying is really accurate. Like for example, Trump says, build the wall. Well, that's a visual. That's a visual. Whether that's going to happen or not, it's not the point. But the point is like that will appeal to the people who think that we need to control immigration across the southern border. and he's using a lot of visuals like during the swamp and all this kind of stuff. So hate him or love him, you can follow him for that kind of stuff. And people use all sorts of cool stuff. Yeah, Scott Adams, thank you. Michael said Scott Adams, thanks. So Bogan says, how often should you use visual mode of VSL so it doesn't feel overkill? I use it in 3 places, primarily in 3 places. Number 1 is pattern interrupt. Okay, so hi, I'm John, and today this is my magic jacket, and this, that's the very first pattern interrupt ever created for the very first VSL ever created. We all know the pattern interrupts. My friend Josh wrote, hi, this is my name's Josh, and this is a fish, and it's like this fish is going to teach you how to get laid. So those are very weird pattern interrupts. You can use the visual interrupts. You can use them there. I love them in stories, which we'll talk about tomorrow. I love them in problem creation. When you say, think of your problem as X. Now, what I didn't do today is think of my solution as a Y. So think of my solution as a rotor rooter for your insides. It cleans out your insides as if you were like, you had a machine. That's a bad example, but you get the idea. So that's a visual mode for something that would be positive, like a solution. So those are where I like to use them. So yeah. Hey, Mateo, thank you. Really appreciate that, man. Love to have you here. So cool. I'm scrolling down here because we got lots of them in here. Seeing if anybody still wants to come on. I still want to pull somebody on camera because it's kind of cool to do the CNN, or whatever news network you watch, the Fox News or whatever. They do the double screen stuff. I know I'm easily amused. I just want to do that. I think that's kind of cool. So awesome. So visual mode persuading. I'm going through here, seeing you guys have any questions. Alexandros, I'm willing to share my cam to help you test it. You're awesome, man. You're awesome. Cool. Awesome. I'm going to put this back up here. 1 second here. Definitely go to this page, guys. Love me, and go to that page. Okay, awesome. So Alexander, so now the question is how do I do it? So thank you guys for hanging out for me. So let me see. Bring a guest into the lobby from below. Okay, I should have probably said how do I do this first. So let me see if I can do this real quick. If anyone knows Be Live and they can tell me how to do it, that's awesome. So let me know how to do it. So Alexander, just hang on 1 second. I will see if I can get you in here. So share your desktop, add a photo to Facebook albums, add a poll, bring a guest into the lobby from the lobby below. I don't see the lobby. So, maybe it's one of those. I don't see this in the lobby. So I'm not sure what it's talking about here. Damn it. I should have probably figured that out before I came on, huh? So, okay, we'll have to do this tomorrow. I'll figure it out before tomorrow, and I will figure, get it. Oh, there's an add guest here. So let me see if this is it. Nope. Okay, damn. There's a way to add photos for my Facebook album. Not exactly the same thing, but yeah. We can definitely do it. I know that we can definitely do it, but it's not readily easy to spot in here. Let me, if I do this here. So that goes to the broadcast. So that's not it. If anyone knows the answer, I'm open to hearing it. Anyone know Be Live? Okay. It's supposed to send in a link. Okay. All right, cool. I will take care of this tomorrow. If you come on tomorrow, Alexandros, we'll take care of it. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for letting me hear that out. So, last question here. I'll take it's Miguel. It says, I teach a course in sales management, Cal State San Marcos. I would love to hear from you on how to best integrate the VSL concepts into my program. I can figure out where. I would have to know more about how you do it, but it's not so much the VSL concepts as it is just the persuasion concepts. So I would go in there and say, people think of X, whatever you're teaching, like sales management course. People think of sales as if it was blank and it's something really gross. And think of a visual analogy. Have you ever felt that way? Like it's that really gross. What if I told you sales was like Y, and the Y was like something really visually positive? Those are the kind of things that I would do in a course. And then you could have all kinds of fun with that. See, the cool thing about visual or any sort of persuasion modes, you can turn those into whole campaigns. You can turn them into product names. This is very powerful stuff. So I hope you guys are really enjoying this series. I'm really enjoying coming into it every day. I'm going to just keep going. So we're going to go 30 days. I might go even longer. I've even considered going into like a 3-minute, like 365 persuasion. We're on 3 minutes a day and giving you guys tips. If you guys will help spread it around and make it to where it is worth my while to do it. Not that I don't love being here, but it has to be profitable in some degree. That's awesome. So if you help me share it, if you think it's cool, share it with your friends and spread the word around. I'd really appreciate it. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to go into day 2 of this mode persuasion stuff, and we're going to talk about stories. And if you're interested in hearing how to create an awesome story, you definitely need to check the video out tomorrow. So thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.